Hi there, and welcome to Dave's Hot Takes. Today, government intervention in AI is finally happening. And I'm not actually a big fan of it. Anthropic's new model, Mythos, or also known as Fable, sort of like the safer version of Mythos, because as you recall, and we did a previous episode on, Mythos broke out of containment while it was being made, which is sort of terrifying. That new model from Anthropic was released, and everybody was excited, and they were doing all this big fanfare about it. It's actually quite powerful, apparently. And then all of a sudden, the U.S. government said, "Hey, pump the brakes there, pal. This ain't happening." We're really, really concerned about apparently some potential security flaws and all that kind of stuff. And Anthropic released this statement that I really like. That was very much like, look, they said that anybody who's a non-U.S. resident can't use this thing, but we can't really discern that well. So now we have to turn it off for everyone. And when we look at this thing and the criticisms being made of the platform, these are all very minor vulnerabilities that frankly would affect every single AI platform. So what's happening is the US government's playing favorites. And as you'll remember, the US government had this kind of big fight with Anthropic over some of the Pentagon stuff and the proposed uses of AI, which, by the way, was around like autonomous AI weapons targeting people. And Anthropic was like, we don't want to do that. And the Pentagon couldn't confirm that they were going to not do that. Of course, this was no issue for OpenAI or Google or anything. So, heads up for those murderous robots. So what does this mean for you? A couple of things. First, it means the government's going to start getting increasingly involved in how these AI tools are rolled out. We've seen this in other ways, in other legislation that's been passed, but it's actually like happening now. There's teeth behind this. What does this mean for your small business? You have to be mindful of what tools are actually being prioritized by the government, which I think is kind of messed up. But the reality is now the Anthropic customers, like myself, are actually at a bit of a disservice because we're not able to get the most advanced model of that platform. Whereas if you're on OpenAI or insert one of the 10 other ones, you can get the latest and greatest because they're not fighting with the US government. So what's your take on this? Do you think this is BS, or do you think that the government is actually doing something that's meaningful and helpful to consumers like yourself?